Howdy y'all, this here is Big Country with Big Country Survival. Alright. Fixing to roll out. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. Alrighty y'all. So, I'm going to be talking about prepper groups. As I am driving down this bumpy old back road, I got the dog in the truck here, so you might hear or see her. She likes to go for a car ride. Dadgum dog. My truck sits up a little bit high. I mean, you gotta climb up in this thing. And this dog will jump clear up in it in the passenger seat and wind up. I mean, she'll make it clear into my seat, into the driver's seat, as she gets so excited about going in the car. Or going for a ride. we go fun places, don't we, girl? Goes to the woods, and she gets to smell things, and chase ducks and whatnot, and squirrels, tree squirrels. Anyway, this dog's my buddy here. And you're gonna have to be a little forgiving on the bumps. This is my tax dollars hard at work right here on these roads, and I love it. Alrighty, so. Anyway, your prepper groups, everybody, you gotta have one. I mean, you've gotta have a group. For SHTF, you are not going to make it as the lone wolf. You have to have multiple people, and now that multiple people could be, your parents and your spouse and your kids. I mean, I'm not going to tell you the size your group has to be, but you need more than one person. I mean, this whole lone wolf survivalist junk just doesn't work in real life, okay? You can look throughout history. I mean, you need numbers. I mean, look at the mountain men. The fur trappers. They didn't go out alone. No, I mean, I'm sure there were some that did. There's probably a lot of them that wound up dead because of it. But, as a rule, they went with a party. They had, there was a couple of them anyway. Because you know what? You have to, and here's the reason. One, if no other reason, you have to sleep sometime. What if you get hurt? If you get hurt and you're laid up for a couple of weeks, I mean, how are you going to fend for yourself? I mean, how? If you get hurt bad enough, I mean, so you need people. I mean, even the Indians, the native tribes, they didn't, just run about all by themselves. No, they had a tribe. They had people. They had numbers. They traveled in groups. Like women going to the bathroom. They traveled in groups. That's probably the most unmasculine thing you could say for a masculine generalization of people. The fur trappers and the Indians. But, I mean, really, you go in groups. Alright, you got numbers. You need people. Also, for your own sanity. Like, have you ever actually watched the show Alone? Like, some of these people, they go crazy. And I'll be honest, I am like 2 days being alone from talking to Wilson and Wilson talking back, okay? I admit that. I know that is my limitation. I need to have somebody. I need intelligent conversation. It's like, or at least a critter. Give me a dog and I could go out in the woods. I'd be alright probably, but as far as my sanity goes, until the dog starts talking, and then, I might be in a little bit of trouble. Yes, dog, that's a deer. That's a deer. I swear, I drive down this road fairly regularly, and I always count like 60 deer. Anyway, so people, you need people. This lone wolf stuff don't work. So what's the ultimate prepper group? Now that we've got all that out of the way, in a very roundabout way, I'm sorry for that, guys, but, in a very roundabout way, we've gotten that figured out. Anyway, I don't worry about skills so much when I'm picking people for perspective for the group. I don't, what are your skills? All right, that's cool. The skills could be a turning point, like a tipping point with whether someone's going to be brought into it, or not. But more often than not, I want to know, can I work with you? Can I get along with you? That's my big thing. Can I get along with you, and can we work together as a team to achieve a task? Because you could have a bunch of guys and everybody's like an expert in their field. Like, you could have a welder and, 2 combat vets and combat medic. The combat vets were like Navy SEALs, or Marine Force Recon. Sorry, Army, Yeah. You Army pukes. Anyway. Nah. You could have like all these guys together, and you're all experts in whatever, skill set, master survivalists, the kind of guy that makes, Les Stroud look like Kim Kardashian, that kind of mountain man. You could have all these guys together and you not be able to work together cohesively as a unit, and you could wind up dead because of it, because you ultimately have to be able to live with these people. Ask anybody who has been in the military, when you have that one toxic personality in your unit, when you're deployed or on ship. Like, in my division, we had a couple of toxic personalities, and it just, it really affected morale. Them guys that no one wanted to work with, no one wanted to deal with, they just were that way. Alright, and now, to be fair, the vast majority were not that way, but you get those toxic personalities, they slip through the cracks, right? And you don't want to deal with them. You don't want to work with them. And of course, by the time I went in, they did away with smokers. So, we had to be discreet and, stuff. We couldn't just call someone out and, all meet up on the flight deck and go a couple rounds. The settle disputes, that was not permitted when I went through, which I thought was BS. But, you need to be able to get along with each other. First and foremost. You can go through different, social organizations that you're already a part of. Church group, volunteer fire department, Boy Scouts, 4-H, FFA. I mean, the list is endless. And you know those groups. Guys that you've worked together on stuff before, you get along with, You go over to each other's house maybe sometimes for barbecues and whatnot. And you work on each other's house together. And those kinds of guys, that's who you want in your group. Guys that you can work with, guys that you can live with and deal with. You get along well with these people right now. Because, a stressful situation is going to put, even the best and closest of friends on edge. Much less people that can't get along right now. So that's the first and foremost priority, and y'all can work on skills later. You can work on skills once you get the group together. Y'all can work on skills. Go take a first aid course. Red Cross does them. Things like that. Maybe take some courses out of, whatever your local community college is. I know Prepper Nurse does seminars around the country on that. Or not Prepper Nurse, sorry. I'm getting my channels mixed up. Prepper Nurse 1 is actually a good channel, but he doesn't go around the country doing classes. Patriot Nurse, she does seminars and things all around the country. I've not been to one. I just know that she does them. Also, on the defensive side, you've got Pastor Joe Fox out there in the Ozarks on Shofar Mountain. Check out Viking Preparedness. I know he will, at certain points in the year, do classes and weekend-long courses in defensive tactics, patrolling tactics, things like that. There's a whole laundry list. I can go right now to one of the local gun stores in my area. Well, it's in my county. And they do defensive firearms training. They do the basic. It is required for a concealed carry permit, and then they do an advanced, which is, kill house kind of stuff. More realistic scenarios. It's not just you putting rounds on a paper target. So there's a whole list of things that you can do, and books and information that you can read and try out as a group to build your skill sets. But if you don't get along, you don't get along. And that's just the way I look at it. There's people out there that for one reason or another, I just don't like. I don't get along with them. It's not that they're inherently a bad person. I just don't get along with them. They're really genuinely good people. I just wouldn't want to go over to their house every day. So y'all take that for what it's worth, my opinion. Let me know what y'all's opinions are on this particular subject. Hope y'all have a good one. Go ahead and like this video if you would, and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this. Till next time, this here is Big Country with Big Country Survival. Signing out. God bless.